In this video we're going to talk about what you as a source player can resonate with and what you cannot resonate with. We ask you to consider returning the energy shared in these videos through PayPal or Patreon to unlock flow for yourself and so that we can continue sharing the source truth and guidance. More empowerment and clarity to you. A lot of a source player's life is often spent worrying or stressing about things that you as a source player simply cannot experience. It is not something that you can resonate with, no matter what. Other things you might be stressing or worrying about when it is not a frequency match to you whatsoever, because your frequency is too high, or those things exist in a frequency that is so low that you can't even go there. When it comes to anything that is exceptionally sad, then there is a high likelihood that you can't experience it. I'm talking about genuine sadness, when it is something that is just completely out of your control, a type of sad. And we could make a long list and talk for a long time about what those type of things are. So of course we know that as a source player your home can't get hijacked. You can't get kidnapped, stabbed, shot, and all sorts of grim things like this. But the list is long. And many of the things I'm going to mention now could potentially happen if your frequency is really low, but you will rarely find a source player that could ever resonate with any of those things. And before I mention anything, I'm going to remind you that you need to resonate with those things. There is no surprise to your subconscious that can suddenly exist in your life. So whatever happens always makes sense. But so many things could possibly not ever make sense in a source player's life. And I really wanted to make some examples, but I think you should rather think about what I just said. You need to resonate with it. And certain things will simply look like that it could potentially happen, but you see that that thing or that experience in itself is affected by very many other things that you would have to resonate with for that to even happen. So let's say that the house that you own and have paid for collapses in an earthquake. That is a very extreme thing. That is affecting more than your home. Now we're talking about your energies. The house is a thing that you owned that had value, and it is your energy. And how could you possibly resonate with having that energy taken away from you in such an accident? I'm not saying that you can't lose money in the stock market, but you see there is a huge difference in signing up for the stock market, as you should know what the consequences can be. You can lose your money, but when you own a house, you need to be in a very extreme scenario in your life for that house to collapse in an earthquake. And if there is an earthquake, your house will probably stand, and it probably will not have any damage. It might have a little damage if you resonate with that, but it's not going to bankrupt you. The important thing here is that you understand that it must be a frequency match. You need to actually resonate with it, which you probably do not at all. Recognize what things you are worrying about, and ask yourself if this is something that you could potentially resonate with. And of course, many things that are unfortunate and slightly sad, but potentially still things that you could learn and grow from, are things that you as a Source player could create for yourself. But are you on that frequency now? It's completely freeing when you can have the frequency to understand what I'm saying here. It will always be a frequency issue, even though so many experiences are outside of what frequency you can ever experience. And we know about some of them. You can't get stabbed, you can't get robbed to a certain extent, held hostage, fall to your death, die in a fire. But recognize what things you are worrying about in life, and understand that the thing you're worrying about might be something that you couldn't ever as a Source player experience. But most importantly, understand whether or not that is truly the place you are at right now. And it probably isn't. It's probably very irrational. It's probably you giving into a couple of ideas to many. And you would benefit from understanding what I'm saying here. You need to resonate with it. And certain things that are very sad, or that are very unfortunate, or very dark, are probably just you sitting there and fantasizing. You might be far away from those type of experiences, and you might be wasting your time and energy. And if you did yourself a big favor, you would understand what I'm saying here. Don't waste your time, don't waste your breath, don't waste your energy. Rather understand if the thing you are sitting there and worrying about is something that you could even experience. And when you see that it isn't, and that all of the other things you're worrying about too are simply just you wasting your energy, you're going to experience freedom. And it's going to feel very good to finally have that level of clarity. It's a very beneficial one. If you have benefited from this content, consider returning the energy through PayPal or Patreon. You get out of this whatever you put in. More empowerment and clarity to you. Thank you.